Just ahead on CTV News.
Hugo Hernandez Mendez, the man accused of killing 19-year-old Dakara Thompson, was indicted yesterday. I'll have those details coming up.
Plus, family and friends gathered to remember a man shot and killed by police. And Simon Buggs has our Wednesday sports page. Those stories and more. CTV News starts now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for October 8th. I'm Jonathan Hunter.
And I'm Anaya Falcon. Thanks so much for joining us. And topping our news tonight, 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez, the man accused of killing 19-year-old Dakara Thompson, has now been formally indicted on 3 charges. Our
Michaela Newton is outside of the county courthouse with more.
Hugo Hernandez Mendez, the man accused of killing 19-year-old Dakara Thompson, was indicted on 3 charges yesterday, including common law murder, tampering with physical evidence, and burying, disposing of a body in an unauthorized place. In August, Dakara Thompson was reported missing after last being seen leaving a gas station in Hyattsville. Officials say Hernandez Mendez drove Thompson to his home in Bowie and killed her in a bedroom. Investigators later found her naked body off Route 50 in Anne Arundel County. Hernandez Mendez was arrested and charged with first and second-degree murder back in September. Thompson's funeral services were held last month at the Kettering Baptist Church Legacy Center in Upper Marlboro. In a statement yesterday, Prince George's County State's Attorney Tara Jackson said, quote, "Today's indictment marks a critical step in the criminal justice process. Thank you to our law enforcement partners and attorneys for their work on this case." Now, officials tell us that Hernandez Mendez was initially scheduled to appear in a preliminary hearing today, but that was canceled due to the indictment. As of right now, we're unsure of the next court date. Reporting in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, I'm Michaela Newton for CTV News.
And thank you, Michaela. This is a developing story. We will keep you updated with the latest information.
And meanwhile, County Executive Aisha Braveboy and Police Chief George Nader are responding to a fired county police officer successfully suing Prince George's County. As we've reported, Mohammed Magasuba took the county to court alleging in his lawsuit that he faced racial discrimination, a hostile work environment, and retaliation for 2.5 years. A jury from the U.S. District Court in Greenbelt awarded Magasuba $2.35 million during a press conference on domestic violence, and Nader wouldn't comment on the lawsuit, saying, quote, "It's still in litigation." Nader was not the police chief at the time of the alleged incidents involving Magasuba. However, Braveboy says the Nader was brought in because she knew there needed to be a change in culture within the police department.
I'm proud of the leadership that we have here in Prince George's County. I'm proud that they came up through the ranks of Prince George's County. They respect the men and women of all races, genders, creed, and sexual orientation in this department. We have a leader and leadership here that has zero tolerance for any level of discrimination. I'm not suggesting that's what happened in this case. I'm just saying that we are not going to pretend that there were not issues with this department.
White House officials say there's a chance furloughed federal workers may not get back pay once the shutdown is over. During the last shutdown back in 2019, President Trump signed a law granting back pay for furloughed workers. But the Office of Management and Budget has a different interpretation of the law. According to a recent memo by OMB, it says if it's not explicitly written in spending legislation, those workers cannot receive retroactive back pay. Congressman Glenn Ivey says this is ridiculous because President Trump is the one who signed the law when he was last in office.
So I think that it's unfortunate. He's trying to use more of the bully tactics. He threatened a little while ago to fire people and increase the effort to push people out of the federal government. I think everybody knows he's been trying to do as much as he can on that since January 20th. And the courts have helped to restrain that. The lawsuits have been filed in this instance already too, and we'll keep fighting it in Congress as well.
Ivey went on to say he and his Democratic colleagues will continue to fight to ensure federal workers get their back pay.
And the federal shutdown has put many civil lawsuits involving the Department of Justice on hold. Among the paused cases are the Trump administration's lawsuit against Maryland's federal judges and a proposed class action lawsuit alleging unconstitutional living conditions at an ICE detention facility in downtown Baltimore. In each case, government lawyers filed a request noting they cannot work while they are not being paid. According to the DOJ's contingency plan, during a shutdown, criminal cases keep going while civil ones are stayed, except in cases that threaten the safety of human life or the protection of property.
And as the federal government shutdown enters into day 8, air travel is now being impacted nationwide. Reports show that air traffic controllers across the country are not coming into work. During the shutdown, these essential employees would have to work without pay. The National Air Traffic Controllers Association, which is the union that represents these workers, are urging its members to continue to go to work. Governor Wes Moore, along with Maryland's congressional leaders, spoke at BWI Marshall Airport about the shutdown.
We're here at BWI today because 550 TSA agents and 70 air traffic controllers, support staff, and management are employed here and currently working without pay as essential employees. And we have a very simple message: shutdowns don't fly.
I also want to salute our patriotic federal employees who go to work every day on behalf of the American people. Here at BWI, Thurgood Marshall, that includes the air traffic controllers, that includes TSA officials, and it includes others. They're part of a federal workforce that delivers for the American people.
While some airports have seen staff shortages, reports indicate that BWI Marshall Airport has not seen staffing issues.
And heartache and questions tonight as family and friends remember the man killed by Severly's police chief. Loved ones gathered on a Riverdale sidewalk near the spot where 45-year-old Tesfa Leith lost his life 1 week ago. The candles, flowers, and T-shirts served as a vigil and a call for answers. Police say Leith was a suspect in a stabbing and that he charged at Chief David Morris with knives in his hand. Investigators say 2 knives were recovered, but Leith's family doesn't believe that account.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And I don't believe my brother would charge at any officers, especially while his mother is there and his family is around.
Why was he the one pulling the trigger as a chief? If other officers was here, why didn't they jump the gun?
We were just together last Sunday watching football.
We want answers, and we're not going to stop till we get answers.
He'll never be able to take his daughters to the prom, to see his daughters to the prom, to their graduation, to their weddings, anything.
Chief Morris is a 40-year-old veteran and is on restricted duty while the Attorney General's office investigates. Body camera footage from other officers is expected to be released within the next 2 months.
A structure fire was reported last night in Bladensburg on the 5200 block of Lawrence Place. Prince George's County firefighters were called to this 2-story warehouse. According to reports, a propane tank exploded and a second alarm was sounded. No one was inside and there were no reported injuries.
And the CDC is updating its guidance on COVID-19 vaccines, moving towards something called shared clinical decision-making. That means rather than blanket booster rules, your vaccination decision should come from a conversation with your provider, even your pharmacist. Most insurance plans are expected to keep covering COVID vaccines without needing a prescription. In Maryland, pharmacists can administer vaccines under a statewide standing order, no prescription needed. So if you're considering another dose, take it over with your provider and understand the risk and benefits and make an informed decision. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Anaya Falcon.
And I'm Jonathan Hunter.
And coming up, protecting your data and your future.
A new cyber clinic is opening its doors in the county.
We'll show you how the first of its kind initiative is training tomorrow's cyber defenders when we come back.
wish people knew that when you live in a small town like mine, it's much, much harder to find friends with common interests, especially ones my age. I often feel really alone.
Same here. Seems like every time we finally settle somewhere, I have to pack up and move again. By the time I make a friend, a real friend, I have to say goodbye to them.
I totally get it. I live in a big city, but it can feel just as lonely. It's tough, but it gets easier.
Honestly, I totally get what you're going through. It's nice to know that you feel the same.
You enjoyed my story. I really enjoyed your story as well.
Welcome back. 2 law enforcement agencies are now teaming up to better address domestic violence in Prince George's County. The county sheriff's office and county police signed a memorandum of understanding on Tuesday. The new agreement will allow the 2 agencies to better respond to calls related to domestic violence. That means sheriff deputies will be the ones responding to domestic violence calls in police stations 3 and 8. Here in the county, overall domestic violence is down 10%. Just last month, the sheriff's office issued more than 1,300 protective orders.
So the police department will actually do the investigative portion, as we will be the initial. We will do the protective order information. We actually do a legality sheet. We actually do the incident report. We actually then work with the courts as far as any peace and protective orders. If there is a need for a criminal investigation, such as a felony, the Prince George's County Police Department will assist us in that matter. If it is a misdemeanor, of course, we would do all investigations. We will do any arrest.
And Carr says they are seeing an increase in family violence. Now, if you are dealing with domestic violence, there is support available. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and that number is 1-800-799-7233.
Meantime, County Executive Aisha Braveboy says she has confidence in her pick to run the Department of the Environment. Braveboy nominated Samuel Moki, who's right there on your screen, to lead the agency despite the fact he was fired from the same department back in 2014 for gross negligence. Some environmental groups are opposed to Moki serving as the director of DOE. The County Council's Transportation, Infrastructure, Energy, and Environment Committee are set to take up this nomination tomorrow. Dozens of people came together today for the grand opening of the Prince George's County Cyber Clinic in Greenbelt. The clinic will serve as a place where students and people in the community can get hands-on training. It will also serve as a place where businesses can receive cybersecurity services at an affordable price. People who train at the clinic will get a certification and the skills needed for the workforce.
We want to make sure that, like we said, the residents and students within the county have an opportunity to gain entry into this field that's ever evolving and will continue to grow.
And a lot of the open cyber jobs, they're for mid-level or for experience, but that's a catch-22 because how do individuals get experience and learn if they're not provided the opportunity? So the clinic is an opportunity to have, much like a medical sort of clinic, have individuals learning under the guidance of experienced subject matter experts.
And Tina Williams-Caroma, who you just saw in the video, says the certification process shouldn't take long at all.
And the Maryland Cannabis Administration, in partnership with the Maryland Economic Development Corporation, has announced that applications are open to solicit publicly and privately owned sites. The sites will be used to develop the Maryland Cannabis Incubator Project. Incubator facilities would be used as secured storage for products prior to delivery. It's important for interested parties to note that there will be no cannabis retail sales located on site. For questions or to request an application, contact the email on your screen. The application deadline is November 6th. And another meeting was held today to discuss the impacts and benefits of data centers in Prince George's County. The Qualified Data Center Task Force is a committee that provides recommendations to the County Council on data center issues. And during the fifth meeting, the task force discussed research on data centers and the impacts and concerns for data centers in surrounding counties within Maryland. Before the meeting, some community members were holding up signs to express their point of view on data centers in Prince George's County. A resident that lives near the proposed data center project at the Landover Mall site says he just wants transparency.
There were interest meetings held in July. However, if you reference those meetings on YouTube, they are very clearly sales pitches. So for me as a resident, I'm concerned how much due diligence has been done regarding data center and the study of the environment in Prince George's County. Why would we bring something that would pollute more air, suck up more water, and make our resources even more rough around the edges? As a father, I don't want that for my kids.
He says he encourages community members to come out for their last qualified data task force meeting on Saturday, October 25th from 10 to 12 p.m. to make their voices heard. And County Council member Walla Blagay says they are working on scheduling more of these meetings to hear from community members in the future.
And still to come on CTV News.
It's called Columbia Air Center, Determined to Fly. I'm Byron Scott. We'll tell you all about it coming up.
Might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. You may not even know you have it, but you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand. With early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
And if you use any online meal delivery services, you might want to check your freezer. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service is issuing another health alert for several ready-to-eat meals. Take a look at your screen. Blue Apron's Cheesy Mac with vegetables and Marley Spoon's barbecue sauce beef meatballs with cheesy cauliflower are on the list due to Listeria concerns with the cauliflower. And these HelloFresh ready-made meals also received an alert. The cheesy pulled pork pepper pasta and the unstuffed peppers with ground turkey are both recalled due to containing spinach that also may be contained with Listeria.
New numbers show America's prison population is on the rise again for the second year in a row. A new report from the Bureau of Justice Statistics says more than 1.2 million people were behind bars at the end of 2023, up about 2% from the year before. The jump reverses a decade-long decline. The data also shows the number of women in prison is growing faster than men, nearly 4% in 1 year. Experts say prisons are also facing another challenge, a rapidly aging population with 1 in 4 inmates now 50 or older.
And at the University of Maryland, e-scooter thefts and drug-related violations spiked in 2024. According to UMPD's latest security report, there were nearly 300 motor vehicle theft or attempted theft reports in 2024. Up from just over 140 in 2023. About 90% of those thefts involved electric scooters. Drug-related referrals also drastically increased, from 6 cases in 2023 to 35 last year, mostly tied to cannabis. Police say all of the drug referrals happened on campus and were handled through student conduct, not arrests.
We now head to the College Park Aviation Museum for a new exhibit highlighting an important part of Maryland history.
That's right, and Byron Scott has our story.
So they purchased this property, dug out the runways, and began to fly.
The exhibit is called Columbia Air Center, Determined to Fly, and it tells the story of the nation's first licensed black-owned airport.
My father has a letter that the museum has where he reached out to the Aviation Ministry of Nigeria to see whether or not they were hiring black pilots. That's how much my dad wanted to fly commercial airlines. So they had to create their own space.
Columbia Airfield was located in Croom, southern Prince George's County, and operated from 1940 to 1962.
My dad was the sort of guy.
Herb Jones III is the son of the late Herb Jones Jr.
After the war, the opportunities for black pilots in the airlines was really limited.
Jones was a Tuskegee Airman and co-owner of Columbia Air Center.
These gentlemen were determined to fly. They purchased the land from two young ladies, and they created a safe space in which black aviators could learn their craft.
The exhibit is interactive. This display, for example, tells the story of Lou Shorter.
I was born in 1935 and grew up in the Northeast DC neighborhoods.
This is the real-life Lou Shorter, who was a Civil Air Patrol cadet at Columbia in the late 1940s.
And the reason for the Civil Air Patrol was that it could conduct missions because they flew smaller aircraft, they could fly slower, and they could do rescue. And fully loaded weighs 585,000 pounds.
Colonel George London was the first Air Force test pilot to fly the C-17 Globemaster transport plane.
You put tanks in the back, trucks, passengers, paratroopers for airborne assault. We dropped out big rockets out of the back of the airplane.
The exhibit was several years in the making, and as much as it highlights the accomplishments of the past, it's also about paving the way for the future.
So I've been in aviation since I was 14.
Now at 23 years old, William Moore Jr. is a flight instructor.
Everyone should know where something started out as. You know, you don't just go to a store and just buy the plant. You obviously know that it came from a seed. So when it comes to black history in aviation, it kind of behooves a person to know who came before them.
Once again, the exhibit is called Columbia Air Center, Determined to Fly. It officially opens this Friday at 10 a.m. Admission to the museum is free. In College Park, Byron Scott, CTV News.
What a great story. Thanks, Byron. The College Park Aviation Museum is open from 10 to 4 p.m. Don't move. You know what time it is. It is time for that Wednesday sports page.
That's right. What's going on today, Simon?
Don't go anywhere, sports fans, because coming right up, an inside look into one of the best soccer teams in the county. Find out who and what they had to say after the break.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I respond to.
Communities must step up.
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop
normalization.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
All right, sports fans, y'all know what time it is. Let's get right to it. Now the 2025 high school boys soccer season is in full swing, and multiple teams around the county have big goals that they want to accomplish this season. Whether it be just to win a certain amount of games or take home the state title trophy, there's no doubt that teams in the county all have something they want to get out of this season. And I stopped by the practice of one of the best teams in the county and talked to them about what they hope to do in 2025.
The Parkdale High School boys soccer team has been the definition of success so far this season. Right now, the Panthers are 8-0 and show no signs of slowing down. And the standard and culture the team established in previous years has played a big role in the success they have now.
I think it's foundation. You know, we set a foundational, principle
From way back, we started this program in fall of 2018 here at Parkdale. And we had to reset things during the pandemic, but, our foundation has been great, number one, for our kids. If they can work hard all year round, the county requirement to play is a 2.0, but our county requirement, our requirement is a 3.0 and above. So if we can get them off the pitch to have the right mindset, to understand the value of hard work, when the season comes, it's a piece of cake.
The Panthers coaching staff making sure their players succeed not only on the field, but in the classroom as well can really benefit them in the long run. And some players from the team told me how being a part of this program pushes them to be the best they can be.
The student part is good because even if you playing soccer doesn't go your way, school could be another option for you to have a successful career and everything. So that's why I feel the student athlete part is also a good part for the school. And also the thing that helps us is the Saturday program. We come to school on Saturday, study, make up any missing assignments and everything that we're missing, so we could keep up a high GPA.
Our coaches, they put a very strict progress, like a grading progress. If any of us have below a C, or even a C, we have to sit out the next game until the next progress report comes out or next, grading comes out. And I think it's very important because it teaches us discipline. We're disciplined inside the classroom, so we're disciplined in the field, right? And I think it just all correlates to the field when we're outside the classroom.
Now with an 8-0 record, Panthers fans may think this team is a finished product, but Sama insists that his squad still has more aspects of the game they need to improve on.
If there's one little thing we want to patch up, with these guys is to keep them, we don't want to leave any stone unturned. Every little mistake we do, we clean it up immediately. The following practice, we clean it up. And then just to get them mentally, fortified as we go through the playoff run, not to let nerves get to them, little mental exercises and stuff like that, just to get their mind set, because this year we just want to clean everyone up, for real.
The Panthers will look to move to 9-0 as they will face off next against Bladensburg tomorrow. Now the Panthers and the Mustangs have some history, as Blade knocked off Parkdale in the regional finals last season, and the team is looking forward to their matchup against the Maroon and White.
Overall, we just got to play our play style. We got to play as a team, as a unit. We got to take accountability for each other. If we play our game, I promise you, we're unstoppable. It's going to be a big score, but we're just going to show on Thursday what we got, and we're going to surprise everybody.
We got to be very strong all the way from the start, all the way to the end. I think we could beat them. No cocky stuff, none of that. I'm trying to be as humble as I can, but I think we can beat them. And yeah, we just have to play our all, no matter what.
Good luck the rest of the season, Parkdale. I look forward to seeing what y'all do, especially come postseason time. And that wraps up your Wednesday sports page. Simon Bucks, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Simon. Let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight will be clear out, but we'll have winds up to 18 miles per hour. Tomorrow, it'll be clear and sunny with a high of 63. Friday, we reach a high of 65 and a low of 51 to kick off the weekend. Saturday will be mostly cloudy. We reach 69 degrees, but rain is expected after 8 p.m.
And for our community calendar, this Friday, Tanger Outlets, in partnership with Vino 301 and the Wine Concierge, is hosting its 3rd annual fall wine tasting at the National Harbor. And guests will receive 6 sampling tickets, a commemorative wine glass, and special offers from Tanger stores. This event takes place from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Food Truck Plaza. And for tickets or more information, visit thewineconcierge.co.
And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.